welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another plant video. We're going to be talking about humidifiers today because I have 1,000 of them and I figured a review was in order. Today we're going to be talking about the Elechomes humidifier, the Levoit humidifier, and some really cheapos that I found on Amazon. Today's video is actually sponsored by Elechomes. They sent me this humidifier for free and I was super grateful for it, and I figured that this would make a pretty good addition to today's video just because it's like another pricey one. It seems like it's kind of making its way into the market of plant peoples. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And I really wanted to compare it to my Levoit. I made sure that that was okay with the company. They said sure thing. I think if a company is confident enough to be compared to other companies on the market, I feel like that says a pretty good amount about them, in my opinion. I asked them if they wanted to tell me a little bit about their company before, I really wanted to make the video. I wanted a little backstory behind them, and they seem to have humidifiers and air purifiers. They seem to be a company that really tries to dive deep into experimenting with their products. They just try to make the best products that they can. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. I'm gonna leave that one until last so that way we can see what the rest of the stuff is looking like. But yeah, first humidifier that we're gonna talk about is actually the humidifier that I like the least, and it is the humidifier that everybody talks about in the plant community. So I feel like a little bit of a black sheep. I feel like a little bit of a don't come for me, don't hate me train. But I don't know. This humidifier, I just think that I had my hopes very high for it, and that's why I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. It broke on me. That's number one. It broke on me. It was entirely my fault that it did break though, because I dropped it and this little piece of the humidifier broke in half and I was just unable to use it. I did try reaching out to see if they sold any pieces like this, and they said no. So yeah, I don't know. It was still a decent humidifier when it was working. It was just from the beginning, I was having issues with it and it was annoying. I was having issues with the humidity level. It was weird. I have a hygrometer and it was just not matching up, and it was also just spewing out the humidity everywhere. There was a few times where I had it inside my greenhouse and it just showered my plants, and it was something that I didn't want, because if you have too much humidity on your leaves, it can cause disease and fungus and stuff, and that's not what I wanted. I didn't want it to do that. I know that occasionally that's okay, but it had done it 3 days in a row, and I didn't know how to stop it because I had already lowered the humidity so that way it wasn't pushing out mist, and it still continued to do that. So I ended up moving it outside of my greenhouse and it still ended up doing that. It was there was water just everywhere. It wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy it. Remember I had actually posted about it on my Instagram, and I had told people that I didn't understand why it was happening, and a few people reached out to me and they said hey, mine did the same thing. I reached out to the company. It was under warranty, so they sent me a new one, which was great for them. I'm happy that they were able to work things out that way, but it seems like a lot of people have this issue with their humidifier, and as a plant person, it's not really the biggest issue in the world. But the other thing that sucked is that their remote pretty much out of the box didn't work at all, and it was just really annoying. I don't know, I had issue after issue, it felt like, with this humidifier, so that's why I was no. Luckily, I used a gift card, and when I bought it, it was $71, and I had a $50 gift card, so I only really ended up paying $20 for it, which was great for me. But for people out there who are paying $90+ for this humidifier, I just don't think it's worth that money. I personally do not think that it's worth that. I'm sorry. And right now it is actually going for $94 on Amazon. So yeah, you can tell that it's not really a super updated model either, just because the buttons on this are very similar to the buttons that are on this $20 humidifier that I bought. So I don't know, like I said, it just didn't live up to my expectations, I think, and that is why I didn't enjoy it. But let's move on to a more positive review, shall we? This humidifier that I was talking about is actually no longer available, so I'm not going to be talking very in depth about this, but this was actually the very first humidifier that I've ever gotten, and it was only like $22 when I bought it. But this humidifier was super cool. It's like really flimsy. That's like the only issue with it, but it was $22. Like, I mean, come on. This one had like buttons. It also had a display. It was actually like really similar to the Levoit, which again was another reason why I didn't really like the Levoit, because this $20 humidifier that I had bought wasn't really that much of an upgrade whenever I bought that one. So that's why it was a little bit upsetting. But this one right here is no longer available. Like I said, it was $24. I think this is the PexFix, and this is a 3.8 liter humidifier. So it kind of sucked because I had to pretty much refill this every single day, and that just wasn't fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I'm gonna say about this one. I really just wanted to talk about it because it was the very first humidifier that I bought, and maybe you can find it out there, but just know that I only paid $24 for it. This next humidifier I bought when my Levoit stopped working, because I was like, okay, I don't really want to buy a very expensive humidifier again and get the same deal that I got with the Levoit, you know? So this one was only $20. It is currently $39.99 on Amazon right now. So if you want to wait for a price decrease, I think I would, and I would kind of recommend that. But this humidifier is actually pretty awesome. It is so simple, like so simple. It has this dial here that pretty much just like shows the intensity of the mist. That's the only function that this humidifier has. And it actually also has like a light inside. I don't know. It has two nozzles up here, so you can like point them anywhere, and it's really easy to fill up. This was just so simple. It's just one continuous mist. I actually really enjoy it. It's cheap, it's easy, and the only thing that sucks about it is that you do have to refill it pretty often because it is a continuous mist. And then the last humidifier is super cool. I really like all of the functions that it has. I like it more than the Levoit. It's pretty much identical to the Levoit, except it feels like all of the little glitches that Levoit had were taken care of. And in my opinion, it seems like that's sort of what happened here. I think this is just sort of an updated model of that one. So this one has pretty much the exact same functions as the Levoit in terms of humidity. So it has a humidity level button where it keeps the ambient humidity around the humidifier the same to whatever you set it as. It has a mist control, so if you want like a light mist or a strong mist or a medium mist, so that way you can control that. And it also has a heating function, which is pretty cool. The thing about this humidifier I think that is a little bit different is that it has a sleep button. So basically the buttons that you press won't make noise and the LED display turns off. It's kind of cool too. I actually don't particularly enjoy seeing the LED display. The control actually works, so that's great. And there is the mist. The mist is pretty strong. You can change the humidity level on it. And there's also a timer function, which I think is also in the Levoit, but there is a timer. So you can do 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, and that's super cool. But the sleep function, it says Z 3 times, and then it turns off. And if you press the buttons on here, it's quiet. So that's really cool. I don't know. That seems like a really cool little function about it, but that's how big the LED like display is, as you guys saw. And another way I think to sort of sleep the display is by holding the on-off button like actually on the humidifier for I think 3 or 4 seconds, and then the LED display turns off. I enjoy it. It seems to work pretty well. I have had it for a month now, a month and a few days. That's actually how long it took for this humidifier to start malfunctioning on me, like with the spraying humidity everywhere. So I haven't had that issue. I haven't had any issues with this humidifier. I think it's really cool. I feel like the glitches, like I said, aren't really existent. I haven't had any real complaints about it other than the fact that it's kind of large. I think that's the one complaint that a lot of people have, is that these humidifiers take up like a pretty big amount of room. But the thing about Elechomes is that they have multiple humidifiers. So they actually have a like 4.5 liter humidifier that's pretty like compact and small. That one looks like it would be a pretty good addition to my bedroom or somewhere where I don't really have like a ton of space. But yeah, this is all coming from me. I live in Houston where the humidity isn't like super crazy low. Sometimes we can get days up to like 80-something% humidity. So keep that in mind also with everything that I say. I do live in a pretty much already sort of humid climate. Whenever we have our heaters on in the winter, it makes like a huge difference to actually have a humidifier. That's the main reason why I really wanted to invest in some humidifiers. The price of the Elechomes humidifier is also a few dollars cheaper than the Levoit humidifier. So the Elechomes, I think the lowest price that I've seen it at was $67. So it's $67, and occasionally they do have coupons, like the coupon down below that I'm gonna link for y'all to use, but you won't be able to purchase on Amazon. It would be through the direct Elechomes link if you want. I think it's 20% off. But yeah, that is usually a few dollars cheaper. So right now the Levoit is, I think, $94 like I said, and the Elechomes is $89.99. So if you want to save a few monies, I would recommend the Elechomes over the Levoit. That's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you got the information that you needed. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. I did at one point enjoy all of the humidifiers, but like I said, if you are a simple person, I think I would recommend this. And if you are looking for like a no hassle, sort of just like put it there and leave it, I would go with the Elechomes. Like I said, I am going to be linking all of the stuff down below. And like I said, this was sent to me for free, but I will leave the names of the humidifiers so that way if you don't want to use the links, you can just go and search them on Amazon if you want to. I think I have already talked about everything that I really wanted to talk about. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button down below, and if you like me or you like plant videos, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. But that's going to be it for today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!